Nicky and this is Sew&Snip. Today I've come on to talk about a challenge that's running during October, which is Sew Upcycle 25. So I've just popped on just to run through a few ideas that I'd like to share, things that I've already upcycled and things that I'm thinking about for this challenge. So to start off with, I'll show you what I'm wearing, which is actually an upcycled item. This is a waistcoat made with lots of different scraps of denim. It's on the back, it's got the some pockets and things as well. Yeah, so that's one example of upcycled garment. Now, before I go through any more, I'll run through the main details. As I'm my vlog's coming out at the middle of the month, so you have probably heard some of these before if you've watched any of the other vlogs on the vlogger tour. But I'll just run through them briefly, just to make sure. So, the idea of the challenge is to make a garment or a bag from something you already have, or something from a charity shop, but not from scraps. So it could be recycling a garment that you've already made. It could be recycling a garment that you found in a charity shop. You just love the fabric. It could be that it's a old tablecloth, duvet cover, anything like that. Anything that the fabric is already available to you. So you're not buying anything new, unless it's something from a charity shop, that you can upcycle into something else that's new. As I said, it can be a garment or a bag. It can be for yourself. It can be for a friend. But it can't be for an animal. We're not doing any pet ones this time. So you need to take a before and after photo. So a photo of the item that you're going to upcycle and then your finished result. And then the reveal date is the 31st of October. When you can put your photos onto Instagram with the hashtag SewUpcycle25 and tagging Becky at Notes from the Sewing Room and Karen at So Little Time. So I'll put all these things in the notes as well. So yeah, so that's the main gist of the challenge and the finishing date. So I've already showed you that my waistcoat is one thing that I've made upcycling before. Now these were all scraps of denim left over from when I upcycled. I think I had about 6 pairs of jeans, not ones that could be given to charity or anything because they had splashes of paint on or rips that were a bit too much to mend, or just worn out and didn't fit anymore. And I took them apart and I made myself a denim jacket. Hopefully it's quite a big denim jacket, so it's very difficult to show. But as you can see, I cut out from all the different types of denim. I cut out all the panels for the jacket before putting it back together. Now, denim jacket's quite a good jacket to make from recycled garments because it's a lot of smallish panel pieces, so it's quite easy to fit in things like legs of jeans. I think the biggest piece is one of the pieces on the arms. So what I did there was I kept the original seam on one side to make the piece bigger and then just cut round it. Yeah, so that's one thing I've made before. The waistcoat. And then another upcycle I did recently was I had an A-line skirt, but it was made sort of a bit like a scuba fabric. It was quite stiff, and the fact with it being A-line is it just stood out and the hemline kept rolling. There wasn't anything I could do to stop it happening. It was just the texture of the fabric. But I thought it would make an ideal bag. So I actually managed to fit 2 bestie bags out of the A-line skirt. Unfortunately, I didn't get round to taking a picture of the skirt before I cut it up, but it was just enough fabric that I made this bestie bag out of one side of the skirt. So it fitted everything, and then just put some webbing on for the strap. And I made a matching one for my friend. So that's another idea. Bags are great because you can, again, have smallish pieces in the pattern, because lots of bags are made up from small panels. So it may be that you've got something that's more of a fitted garment that doesn't fit anymore, but you can still fit the panels on to make up something like a small bag. So that's some examples of what I've done before. Now what to do for this time. Now I've got a couple of garments that I sort of picked out of my wardrobe back in Me Made May. I was trying to wear things that I hadn't worn very often to see why and decide whether I still liked them. So both of these garments are things that I highlighted as not wearing at all back then, and I put them to one side ready to upcycle. Now the first one I've got here, it's a jersey skirt. It's a wraparound skirt, but it's basically a big circle. So there's quite a lot of fabric there. It's, I would say, about 70 centimetres long in the skirt. And yes, got the whole, it's one big piece. So quite a lot of fabric to play with. The fabric feels lovely. It's quite a heavy jersey. I don't think it's a viscose jersey, but it has that sort of fluidity to it. I love the colours. I just don't wear the skirt. I don't wear skirts a lot, and if I do, it tends to be more straighter ones. So I was thinking I may be able to get a top that I will wear out of this, possibly a Naya tee, something like that, or maybe some little vest tops. But there should be plenty there that I can make something that I will wear. So that's one plan. And my other plan is another dress that I made. I must have made this back probably in about 2019. I know I wore it on my birthday during the lockdown, because I decided I was going to have like my own little, just me and my husband, for our own little festival in the garden on my birthday, and I wore it for that. I don't think I've worn it again since. The crossover here is very low, so really it needs to wear something underneath it or put a pin in it. It's lined in a polyester lining fabric, which I don't particularly like the feel of. Also the zip, because I haven't enclosed it behind the lining, it tends to irritate. It's got big drapey sleeves, which actually I quite like the sleeves, apart from the fact that they drape in everything. And then it's got this gathered skirt, which has got quite a lot of fabric in it. So I'm thinking whether I just take the skirt off and recut something, because I love the fabric and the colours. So whether I recut a blouse or something like that just out of the skirt panel, or whether I just unpick it totally and reuse the sleeves but put a cuff on it, and then just cut the body out of the skirt. I'm going to have a play around with that and have a look at some different patterns. But I've probably got a good couple of meters of fabric in this skirt, because it is quite wide. So yeah, so that's my ideas of what garments I'm going to upcycle. Obviously, once I've measured it all out and taken it apart, I'll be able to see better which patterns I'm going to use. So that's it for my ideas for today. I hope that's been of some help and perhaps inspired you to think about what you could do. So yes, don't forget, you need to take the photo before you take the garment or whatever apart, so that you can show what you're upcycling, and then post it along with your photos on the 31st of October with the hashtag and tagging Becky and Karen. So that's it for me today. Bye for now.